is looking around Canaan for some treasures. One of these is actually something that we'll need later, well actually really now, because the Sid's wife or grandmother or whatever the fuck she is needs the elixir to wake up from something. Probably sick or something, I can't remember. Regardless, we're going to take a gander around here. And one of the really cool parts about this game is looking for the secret treasures. Because that's how you get the shuriken, and when you have one ninja in your party, he can have two shuriken equipped, which is just amazing damage. If you only found the one shuriken, then you use the full moon boomerang, which also the magic knight can use, so yeah. Let's look around in the spell books here. Okay, what the Venom spell does is it's basically the same functioning from Final Fantasy IV. And basically the weapon shop here is basically the same as the other shops in this area. Basically just mithril equipment. So, yeah, I mean, it's pretty much all you can really say about that. Armor here is pretty much the same, just mithril equipment. There's not really many treasures here, so all you gotta do Okay, now I want to show you a funny glitch that you can do with Sid. You can just keep doing this until he's outside the house. Yep. That's how you really screw with Sid. Now there's some good treasures and shit that you can find in here, so that's one reason I'm just going here now. That's pretty much all there is down here. Yeah, actually spells like Mini and Toad are really useful for certain points in the game, because you have to be in those, like, affected by those spells to be able to go through, be able to get certain parts of the game. Like with the water crystal, you need the mini spell. Also, you need to find Bahamut later on, because you have to, like, two summons, well, technically three summon spells you have to unlock are Odin, Leviathan, and Titan. Or not Titan, but Bahamut. see, I should be getting arrow from one of these chests. But once you get to the top of this little dungeon, you'll get picked up by Bahamut, and it'll take you to the nest, or his nest rather. I don't know if Bahamut's a guy or a girl in this one. It doesn't really matter, but still. Yeah, with this game, it's pretty weird leveling up because let's say you've got the best classes needed to take on a certain comp, alright? But when you switch over, if you're primarily a mage, then you're not going to have the skill points required for a lot of the classes. It's not as required like that on this version of the game. In the DS version, it is more that way. Like, say you're fighting Garuda, but you don't have any Dragoons in your party. If you switch over to the Dragoon, you're still not guaranteed to win because you don't have the skill points necessary to make the character good. In the NES, in this version, it's easy to break the fight because Garuda can't target you while you're in the air. There's the arrow spell. Yeah, with the White Wizard, it's actually somewhat more reasonable to turn them into a Magic Knight. Like, as of right now, like, your spells aren't doing enough damage to really justify a lot of things. But you're still packing more of a punch than, like, someone with, like, just a fighter, or just your mage just trying to hit someone with a stick. Let's see what's in here. Basically, from this fight, you just run away, because you're not strong enough to fight Bahamut yet. And that's basically the only thing you can do is to run away. Now, with your characters in Mini, what it does is something really unique. It lowers your physical defense and your magic. It lowers your entire defense rating to 1, and it lowers your attack damage, your physical attacks, to 1. What this means is the only way to kill anything as a midget is with black magic. because otherwise you're not doing enough damage. And basically the only row that you have available for your fighters is the back row. Now, this village is called Tosis, and if you played Final Fantasy Tactics, the name probably sounds familiar. And it's basically the same thing. It's a village for midgets. I need to get antidotes, or otherwise I can't get past here, so I'm kind of fucked. Basically, this village has pretty much sells entirely black magic. Basically, just buy antidotes, because you will need them later in the game. You really don't need as much of them, because you have access to the pure spell. Or there's a reason why you need the antidotes, it's to cure this little bastard of poison. Really, your black mage here is just going to be so useful. None of the monsters here aren't none of the monsters here are that formidable, so it's not really that much of a challenge. Just, black magic. And you'll get skill ups for your black mage, like, really fast. Also, Mini still functions the same as that instant death spell from Final Fantasy II. Problem is, you cannot use it while you're a midget. Probably at some point in this video I want to explain sort of what each of the classes is for, and basically Your fighter is the first powerhouse that you get. The knight's a good choice, and it's actually viable throughout most of the game, unlike the karateka. The karateka starts losing a lot of value once you're getting close to the earth crystal. And that's not a bad thing, it's just, it's not going to be it's not going to do as much damage, if you're concerned with that anyway. Okay. Basically, these fights aren't very formidable, and I don't really feel like editing them out, again, for more nostalgia reasons. In fact, let me just show you sort of what I mean by this. Okay, that's not what I was wanting to look at. Yeah, see what I mean? It lowers your physical attack and your defense ratings down to 1, so the only way to kill anything in Mini is to use black magic. Like, Mini is useful early in the game because you pretty much never want to leave Mini because it's useful to get through this certain phase of the game. And we're just going to take a gander, take a stroll through here to find all the hidden treasures we can. Basically, this pool that looks like it has a cross with bat wings on it, that's a revivification pool. Which are very useful when you don't have the life spell. It's basically like the clinics from Final Fantasy 1, except it's free. Instead of having to pay X amount of gold to use it. Oh, excuse me. There's probably a way to get through here. Let's not bother with it for now. Alright. So basically we have to go through the water shrine and get the water crystal jobs. Don't go into the ship right now. That I know what you're all thinking, what could possibly happen. But as soon as you encounter anything in the water, it's going to be a dragon that you have no way of killing. You know, this isn't the water temple. Don't get that confused. Right, I'm going to go outside and save here. Trying to go this way. Doesn't really matter which way you go. Serpent Sword's a good sword because I think it does thunder damage, which is really good against water. Basically, this game's a really short game. That's a good one in the fact that since it's like it's got a lot of stuff in it, but since it's so short, it also kind of can come across as confusing to people sometimes. Break 2 becomes a very accurate death spell later on. Like if you're trying to use like any kind of break spell now, it doesn't really work. Ah, shit. Okay. Okay, I want to see if I can find any magic at this place here. One second. Yeah, let's go with this. That way I can actually do something. Now, the fangs are going to be really helpful for pretty much the end of the game, because, well, I'm not going to spoil that. I'm not going to spoil it because it's actually really important stuff. Basically, now, one thing you'll notice is that we really don't have much of the world to explore right now. Apparently King Argas knows something. This thing here is going to be really important later because it's basically a dungeon right there. Okay, apparently these guys are weak to wind. Let's see, what do I need to do? Okay, I need to go here. Yeah, I need to go to here. I don't know what got those two's ass, but whatever. God's one, that's gonna be some useful stuff. Like, basically, God's wine is basically haste. Freezing staff's gonna be good for the white wizard. He's gonna be using that for a while. Nothing over here. I think it's about all there is here, really. Free weapons, don't mind if I do. Basically, those are just for the black belt. Oh. Okay, so apparently King Argas has gone bad. Huh. Who'd have figured? Who'd have thunk it? All right. Under this battle, it seems like a good place to stop. Unless you want to see more, it's up to you. Is it just me or is this comment floating? Hmm. Please forgive me if I mess up the order of the characters' names. It doesn't really matter. The Gurgans were the ones who wrote the prophecy, so yeah. I guess they traded physical sight for magical sight or something. I don't know. Basically, what's good about this game is there's a lot. Like the soundtrack's good, but there's a lot of just other reasons that makes this really good, as well as it being the first Final Fantasy to ever introduce the job system. So that alone is worth mentioning. Basically, the wizard armor doesn't do anything. Like the next best robe that you can get is the scholar robe. In fact, there's only one thing that Scholar's ever useful for. It's actually kind of the worst job in this game. Actually, no, the Bard's got it beat, but barely. I mean, the Geomancer is a bad class, but it's not useless. After I do some shopping, I think this is a good place to stop. Basically where you need to go is the Tower of Owen. And, well, let's just get there. I don't have to walk all the way back to the ship. Now for the Tower of Owen to work and to even go through it, you have to be in Toad. And then you, once you're done that for that little part, we just proceed as normal. This is basically where you need to go. Keep in mind, you haven't unlocked the fire crystal yet. Now, Toad also works the same way as Minnie. Now, while I remember where to get the Toad spell, I think this is a good place to sign off, and I'll see you guys in the next part of Let's Play Final Fantasy III. Will our brave heroes make it through the Tower of Owen? Well, let's find out next time.